this amazing poll coming out of Nevada. Now, it's commissioned by the Progressive Change Campaign Committee. They are definitely liberal. So you always take that into account, and you know, it's sometimes in the questions that you ask, okay? So keep that in mind. But having said that, it was done by Research 2000. That's the organization that does the poll, and they've done polling for the local papers, including the Reno Gazette-Journal. So it's the PCCC is not doing its own polling. They're commissioning legitimate pollsters to do it, right? I tell you that because the results seem unbelievable, okay? Because they're exactly what we've been saying about Harry Reid. And apparently, and they did a good number of people here, over 600 polled, so that's a reliable number in a state like Nevada. So I had to look at it and go, wow, okay. So now, first they ask about the public option. In fact, they say, I'll give you the exact question so you can judge it yourself. Would you favor or oppose the government offering everyone a government-administered health insurance plan, something like Medicare coverage people 65 and older get, that would compete with private health insurance plans? Okay, that's a way of framing the public option. It frames it as like Medicare. You can agree or disagree on that. The answer on that is 54% say yes, we favor that. 39% say they oppose it, and 7% aren't sure. So that's a nice win for the public option if you like the way that they frame that question in Nevada. So that should send some signal to Harry Reid, and that jives with similar polls taken earlier by other groups that say that, yes, just about those numbers in favor of the public option in Nevada. Okay, so we're just getting warmed up. Now you get to the question of Harry Reid and his leadership. First, the question is, do you have a favorable or unfavorable opinion of Harry Reid? These are not good for Harry Reid. Overall, 35% favorable, 54% unfavorable. If you're running for re-election next year, those are disastrous numbers. But when you look inside the numbers, that's where it gets interesting. So, of course, the Republicans hate him. That's unsurprising, right? But among Democrats, he only has 55% favorable and 34% unfavorable. That is very high within your own party. So one of the main problems he has in Nevada, remember, Obama won Nevada, is that he can't get Democrats to vote for him or to support him. Now, when you go to independents, oh, disastrous. 29% favorable, 59% unfavorable. So independents don't like Harry Reid. Now let's get to why. Would you say, this is a great question, would you say he's too far to the left or not progressive enough? Now, because Harry Reid was always under the assumption, I got bad numbers, it must be because I'm too far to the left, the right wing must be right, I got to go further to the right, right? So they just finally asked the question in a poll, what's the reason? Overall, when you count Republicans and everybody, 47% say too far to the left, right? 41% say not progressive enough, and 12% say not sure. So too far to the left wins by a little bit overall in Nevada. But for a guy who's supposed to be the leader of the Democrats, you know, this guy the right wing paint as liberal, that's not overwhelming numbers at all. But when you get inside the numbers, here's where it gets interesting. For independents, now these are the guys who decide elections. Of course, the Republicans are always going to think he's too far to the left. When you look at the Republican number, it's 72-7. They're like, oh, yeah, he's way too far to the left, right? So that skews the numbers. But independents decide elections. 40% said he's too far to the left. 55% said not progressive enough. We don't like Harry Reid, not because he's too far to the left, but because he's too far to the right. Harry Reid, hello, McFly, pay attention. This is your political life on the line here. By the way, Harry Reid's people are offended by this poll. I'm sorry that the people of Nevada have offended you with their opinions. Okay, all right, now we go to other devastating questions. Do you think Harry Reid is a strong leader or a weak leader? Gee, I wonder how this one's going to come out. Again, people who support Harry Reid on the Hill said, I can't believe that they asked this question. If you care about Harry Reid winning re-election, you should want to know the answer to this question, right? Because they're so afraid of how it's going to come out. Well, they were right to be afraid. 52% say he's weak, 24% say he's strong, 24% are not sure. And again, here comes the devastating numbers. Among Democrats, 47% say he's weak, only 39% say he's strong. Among independents, 53% say weak, 22% say strong. Harry, they don't like you because you're too weak and you're not progressive enough. That's why you're losing, not because you're not far enough to the right. When is it going to get through your thick skull? I'll give you a couple more here because then you get into the public option. Effective or ineffective, again, big numbers saying ineffective as opposed to not. Independents say he's ineffective. Democrats say he's ineffective. The general population says he's ineffective. Again, goes towards the weak point. Are you, do you think that you want Harry Reid to be the nominee for the Democrats? And independents again say no, new nominee. All these numbers are murderous. They're terrible. But when you get back to the public option, if Harry Reid, this is another great question, if Harry Reid fails to pass a strong public option as part of health care reform, does it make you more likely or less likely to vote for him in the next election? Okay? If he passes one without a strong public option, 17% say, yeah, I'm more likely to vote for him. 31% say, no, I'm less likely to vote for him if he kills the public option. Now, among Democrats, it's 7 and 46. Of course, the Democrats are less likely to vote for him if he kills a strong public option. But get a load of this. Among independents, 13% more likely to vote for him if he kills the public option, 35% less likely to vote for him. They're saying, Harry, please pay attention. We want the public option. If you don't give it to us because you're a weak and ineffectual leader, then we're much more likely to vote against you. What does it take for you to get that through your head? I'm sorry if the people of Nevada have offended you, Mr. Reid, but these are the real feelings. We get it all the time. We get it from our callers. We get it from people who email the show. To me, this sounds exactly right. It's backed up by the numbers. And if Harry Reid knows what's coming, he has to realize that in these next couple of weeks, what he decides to do in putting that Senate bill together, it's his political life on the line. I don't know if he'll survive if he passes one with a strong public option. I know that a lot of progressives, et cetera, will turn around and say, all right, he got the job done. But if he doesn't get it done, and they don't have a strong public option because Harry Reid failed because of weak leadership, I'm going to guarantee it to you here. Harry Reid is done, and he will definitely lose in Nevada. Because if you can't get your Democrats to vote for you, none of the Republicans are going to vote for you, and you can't get any of the independents to vote for you, guess what? That's a terrible losing strategy in politics. Good luck with it.